7 signs. Someone is manipulating you, and you don't even know it. If someone in your life makes you feel confused, guilty, or responsible for their emotions on a regular basis, this video is going to explain exactly what has been happening to you. Manipulation at its most effective level does not look like control. It looks like love. It looks like concern. It looks like a normal conversation. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. By the end of this video, you are going to understand 7 specific signs that someone is manipulating you, why each one works, and what it does to you psychologically over time. This is not about blame. This is about giving you the language to understand something you may have been feeling for a long time without being able to name it. Sign number 1. You always leave conversations feeling like the problem. Think about the last time you tried to address something that was bothering you with this person. You came in with a real concern. You explained it as clearly as you could. And somehow, by the end of the conversation, you were the one apologizing. You were the one who had done something wrong. You were the one who needed to do better. This reversal is not accidental. It is one of the most effective manipulation tactics in existence. Psychologists call it DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. The manipulator denies the behavior you addressed, then attacks your credibility or your emotional stability for bringing it up, then positions themselves as the real victim of the interaction. And if you are someone who genuinely cares about doing the right thing, this works on you every time, because you are willing to consider that you might be wrong. A manipulator knows this about you, and they use it as a weapon. Sign number 2. Your emotions are constantly managed but never accepted. In a healthy relationship, when you are upset, the other person wants to understand why. They ask questions. They sit with your discomfort. They do not rush to fix it or dismiss it. With a manipulator, it is different. When you are sad, they comfort you just enough to stabilize you. Not because they want you to feel better, because an emotionally destabilized person is harder to control. When you are confident and clear, they introduce doubt, a subtle comment, a well-timed reminder of a past failure, a joke that lands just slightly wrong. Your emotional state is always being managed, kept in a range that makes you dependent on them for stability. That is not a relationship. That is a system of control. Sign number 3. The standard keeps moving. Early in the relationship, there were clear expectations. You met them. And instead of acknowledgement, there was a new expectation. Then another. Then another. No matter how much you give, it is never quite enough. No matter how much you change, there is always something else that needs changing. This is called moving the goalposts. And it serves a very specific purpose. A person who believes they are always falling short of the standard never feels secure enough to leave. The insecurity is the product. Your compliance is the goal. Sign number 4. They isolate you from your support system. This one is slow. It rarely happens in one conversation. It happens in 100 small ones. Your friend is a bad influence on you. Your family does not understand your relationship like I do. I just think those people do not have your best interests at heart. Each statement sounds like concern. Each one has just enough truth in it to seem reasonable. But together they add up to one outcome. You, alone, with only one person to turn to. And that person is the one doing the isolating. Isolation is not a side effect of manipulation. It is a strategy. Because a person with a strong support system is much harder to control than a person who has no one else to call. Sign number 5. Guilt is their primary currency. After everything I have done for you, I just thought you cared about me more than that. I guess I was wrong about you. These phrases are not expressions of genuine hurt. They are tools. They are designed to make you feel responsible for the manipulator's emotional state, and to make correction or distance feel like cruelty. Healthy people express hurt directly. They say what they need. They give you the opportunity to respond. Manipulators perform hurt strategically. They deploy it at the moment when your independence or clarity is highest, to pull you back, to reset the dynamic in their favor. If guilt is the primary emotion you feel in a relationship, and you can never quite trace it back to something you actually did wrong, that guilt was manufactured. Sign number 6. They rewrite history. That never happened. You are remembering it wrong. I never said that. You are too sensitive. That is not what I meant. Gaslighting is the systematic dismantling of your confidence in your own perception. It starts small. A corrected memory here. A dismissed feeling there. But over time it accumulates. And one day you realize you check your own recollections before you speak. You preface your own memories with, "Maybe I am wrong, but..." You have been trained to doubt yourself by someone who needed your self-doubt to survive, because your clear perception was a threat to them. Trust what you remember. Your memory is not the problem. Sign number 6. They rewrite history. That never happened. You are remembering it wrong. I never said that. You are too sensitive. That is not what I meant. Gaslighting is the systematic dismantling of your confidence in your own perception. It starts small. A corrected memory here. A dismissed feeling there. But over time it accumulates. And one day you realize you check your own recollections before you speak. You preface your own memories with, "Maybe I am wrong, but..." You have been trained to doubt yourself by someone who needed your self-doubt to survive, because your clear perception was a threat to them. Trust what you remember. Your memory is not the problem. Sign number 7. You feel smaller than you were before this relationship. This is the one that takes the longest to see, because it happens gradually. But look back at who you were before this person entered your life. Your confidence, your relationships with other people, your ambitions, your sense of what you deserved. Now look at where those things are today. Healthy relationships expand you. They make you feel more capable, more connected, more certain of your own worth. Manipulative relationships do the opposite. They shrink you, down to a size that is easier to manage, down to a version of yourself that is less likely to leave. If you recognized yourself in any of these 7 signs, I want you to know something. You did not end up here because you are weak. You ended up here because you are the kind of person who genuinely tries, who extends good faith, who believes people can change. Those are not flaws, they are qualities that were targeted. The first step out of a manipulative dynamic is always the same. It is naming what is happening. You just did that. Subscribe to Mind Sentinel for weekly psychology that protects you and explains the people around you before they get the chance to explain themselves to you.